Ahoy there, it's Captain Katie here. Today we're going to be opening up the Scrawlrbox for the month of March, I believe. And this is the first Scrawlrbox that's coming to YouTube. They're no longer exclusive to Patreon. Actually, I'm not even doing them on Patreon anymore. Here's the first Scrawlrbox coming to you, and let's open it together. Alright, so we have the art supplies here. We have the zine, I can never say this right. It's very black, white, gray, or black and gray rather. Here is the print of the month. This is really cool. I wish I could do like robotics, and I suppose I could with enough practice, but I don't know. This is really cool though. And if you're interested, here is the featured artist of the month, if you want to check them out on Instagram. Then we have an A5 pad of, white card, which is probably like Bristol, and there's 10 sheets, 250 GSM, and it is smooth. I'm gonna go ahead and get the box out of the way, and let's find out what else is in here. First we have the Scrawler sticker, which is very similar to the zine. We've got the March Scrawler Challenge, Bionic Being. On the other side of this are the art supplies, but we're just gonna find out right here. We've got our candy. This is Woolies Bra Highland Toffee Chew Bar. Okay, this sounds really interesting. We've got a Copic multi-liner in black. It is a 0.3. A Rembrandt Polycolor Lyra in this, like, I don't even know, it's kind of like a dark plum color. We've got a Kohinoor Hard Mutts 3B pencil. Ooh, that's dark. And then we have a whole set of Marabou Graphics sketch markers in cool grays and warm grays. This is actually something I've gotten from another box before. I think it was Palette Packs. I didn't care for these markers, but I think, I don't know, we'll try them out again. Maybe I'll give them another go and we'll do something a little robotic or something. But yeah, here are the supplies. Let's go swatch them out. Alright, so first we have the Kohinoor pencil. I know this word hardmuth is spelled weird. I think that's it. This is a 3B. And then we have a Lyra. Is it a polycolor? Yeah. This is in just like a purpley color. Then we have the Copic multi-liner. Alright, that's it for like the individual stuff. And then we've also got this set of Marabou. I'll start with the darkest color so I can write what it is. Marabou. Are they sketch markers? Yeah. I'll just put sketch. And so we've got this really thick, chunky chisel nib. Then we have the thin, and that is the darkest of the cool colors. And then we also have this like medium color, and then we have the light one. So those are the cool colors. And then for the warm colors, we got the darkest one. We've got the medium one here, and then the lightest one, which is a lot more like brown than the rest of them. Yeah, this is the Scrawlrbox swatches. Now on to making some art. I have no idea what I'm going to make with this yet. Okay, so I was originally going to do this in real time, and then I kind of got carried away with the sketching and wasn't talking or anything, so I was like, you know what, screw that. I am just going to voice this over because it makes it a lot easier. I do want to preface this by saying I apologize if you hear my little one in the background or any other kind of noises because I'm trying to placate her, but it doesn't always work. So, you know, toddlers, they have an absolute mind of their own, which is normal. Whatever. Anyway, so I decided to draw kind of like a robotic kraken, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. I went into this thinking if there was a kraken in Horizon, like Zero Dawn, Forbidden West, etc., then what would it look like? And yeah, that's kind of how I came to this. Is it great? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. But I had fun, and it was a challenge for me. I don't usually draw many mechanical-based things, so, you know, it was a bit of a challenge. I will say, whenever I was kind of laying the sketch down, at first I was, like, really excited. I was like, yes, it's gonna look awesome.
And then I got to the tentacles and it just looked like a giant jumble of, I don't even know what. It was kind of confusing, and yeah, so thankfully I was able to kind of distinguish some of them with the shading that I'll do a little bit later, but it's whatever. Also, this kind of ended up reminding me of a guardian from Breath of the Wild by the end of this, and that's probably just because of how they look. I don't know. I haven't played that game in forever, and I definitely wasn't inspired, but that is what it is. So, yeah, the sketch is almost over. Let's talk about the Scrawlrbox for a little bit. I've been getting Scrawlrbox for a little over a year now, I think. And I've really enjoyed Scrawlrbox. I think the candy is fun because it's candy I don't usually get near me because it's from the UK. And I think most of the time it's a great value. Sometimes I just kind of get some art supplies and I don't really care for them. And this kind of happened to be one of those months. I just don't really like Marabou stuff. And I know that sounds really dumb and kind of like really rude. But I don't know. I just feel like their private label stuff that is just really easy to put as filler in a box. And that's just me. That's my personal opinion. I didn't care for these markers too much. Whatever. I think they could have, I don't know, maybe done 3 Copic markers or higher quality markers than a whole set of Marabou. But again, that's just my opinion. I did like that they included a little bit of a pop of color in this. It would have been more fun if they had done various colors across the boxes, but that's just a nitpick. Let's see. The paper was really nice. I did like the paper. The pencils and ink were nice as well, so, no complaints there. I have opinions about Marabou stuff, and I just told you them, so, there's that. So now I'm on to the inking part of this, and I decided that I was just going to be kind of sketchy with it because I know that mechanical stuff usually is denoted by like really harsh lines, just like straight and not really sketchy. But listen, I like to do sketchy lines, and this was not a very thick marker, so I wanted them to be like bold lines. But this marker inking pen was not very dark, and well, it was dark, but it wasn't very thick, so it was difficult. So I was like, you know what, sketchy lines is going to be the best way that I can do this. So yeah, here we are doing that. Now I'm working on the tentacles, and like I said, once you kind of see the sketch, I think you understand that it's just a conglomeration of tentacles. It's kind of rough. But yeah, I did end up making a blunder close to the end. I ended up coloring the tips of the tentacles with the purple. I really wish I could just go back in time and tell myself to not do that because, it wasn't such a great idea, especially because I ended up shading the background of it. Also, I did not film all of this because I thought it was getting kind of tedious. So now we're working on the shading, and I started to go in with like the really light color because I wanted to see how it would dry on this paper and kind of figure out how everything was going to look in whatever color they were in. So I knew I wanted some of the tentacles further back, so I went ahead and just kind of darkened up some of them in the back, and I ended up darkening them up a lot more before the end of this just because by the time they dried a lot lighter, which is pretty standard for a alcohol-based marker. I did find the cool gray to be a little bit on the warmer side compared to the other ones, and I'm not entirely sure why. Like, even looking at it while voicing this over, it looks a little warmer, right? But this isn't even the warm gray. The warm gray is almost like a light brown color, so that was really odd. I don't know. But yeah, I just went through a bunch of layers for this, really. I mean, it's nothing special, and I was trying to be very deliberate with some of my strokes. I used the chisel side for most of it just because I wanted those really harsh like lines. Right now I'm not, but I do eventually just switch over to pretty much only the chisel because I just wanted those like blocky colors. I don't know. I just think it looked better and it made it look more mechanical with the blocky colors, if that makes any sense. So, yeah, I'm trying to think of something else to talk about because I've pretty much talked about what I did in the entire piece, and I've already talked about Scrawlrbox, and I'm like, what do I talk about? Well, today is the 14th. You'll be seeing this on the 15th. I guess I could mention my Patreon. If you like squids, and you like cherry blossoms, and you like cute things, you should head on over to my Patreon. I actually have a public post showing everything that you would potentially get if you pledge to my Patreon. So yeah, and I'm doing an exclusive like intro bonus right now, to where if you pledge to any physical tier, you get bonuses depending on what tier that you pledge to. All physical tiers get a bonus sticker, and then the higher tiers, like the Bay and the Ocean tier, they will also be getting a washi tape on top of the bonus sticker and everything else. And I'm very excited. I think the cherry blossom stuff came out really cute. If you are not a fan of Patreon, though, this stuff will be coming to my shop eventually, but it won't be for a few months, and it'll only be leftovers. So if you were wanting like a pin, but you weren't sure if it was going to be a leftover, I would go ahead and subscribe to that, because those are more limited than the stickers, because I can actually make the stickers on my own. The stuff that I can't make on my own, like washi tape and pins, those are going to be super limited. So anywho's, yeah, go check that out if you want to. The link will be in the description. And another thing I guess I can plug is my TikTok. If you don't follow me on TikTok, I make videos pretty much every day. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's every day and multiple times a day at this point. Just kind of like behind the scenes, packing orders, just kind of chill stuff. You know, nothing super fancy in a long format like this, but I really enjoy it, and the community over on TikTok is just really nice. I love everybody we just have a good time over there. So if you're not already following me on the TikToks, you should go check it out. So now is where I really think this piece kind of tied itself together. I kind of just trusted the process and threw everything at it and was just darkening things up as I saw fit. Thankfully, alcohol markers layer up pretty well. Another thing I did that I thought was pretty fun was I colored in this eyeball, and then I ended up kind of making like a little, I don't even know, like a glare mark almost, like it was real shiny and kind of like glaring. I don't know. And then this is where I kind of blundered, and I added the purple to the tips of the tentacles. Try saying that 10 times fast. And yeah, that was a bad idea, but you know, it is what it is. I can't take it off now. It's done. And I did end up adding a Sakura jelly roll to a lot of this, just because I felt like it really needed it. And yeah, you may see me pause while I'm doing this, and I'm just kind of questioning my choices, but you know, it's fine. It's done. But yeah, this is a really fun piece to work on. It was different. It was definitely outside my comfort zone. I think it would be fun to maybe digitize this and turn it into something that looks a little more cohesive, and a little bit more symmetrical, because this is definitely not symmetrical at all. It's actually pretty wonky, but you know, it is what it is. So, anywho's, I want to thank you all so incredibly much for watching. Y'all are amazing. I love you all so much. And yeah, this video is basically over. I'm going to be showing you the final piece right here. Yeah, I added a little bit of a purple haze to the background. But anyway, stay safe on the seas out there. And until next video, toodaloo.